Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to this video. And this video is probably going to be a bit of a sensitive subject because we're talking about what AK did last week, which was with the Condemnation book that they released. If you haven't heard about it, basically they released a pretty awful campaign for that book, and it's all about addressing sensitive issues through scale modeling. But what they did was, I'm not going to show the video because it is pretty horrible actually, but they did a video which was a lot about the Holocaust, and they really sort of turned it into some sort of horrible old style B-movie horror story kind of thing, and trying to glamorize the Holocaust, which as probably a lot of you know, has really sort of kind of got the modeling community up in arms. Loads and loads of bad comments, loads and loads of bad feedback, a big backlash to AK about it. Now, what I want to sort of talk about is address you know, AK, and address the whole sensitive subjects of making dioramas of sensitive subjects and everything, because as much as, you know, I totally and utterly agree with everyone in the sense that AK did do a bad thing. Even AK has gone off and they have admitted what they did was wrong, and they did apologize. It's on their Facebook page, a nice little statement apologizing for what they did and saying what they did was wrong, and yes, it was wrong. But what I want to sort of address, because the thing is, you know, this hobby is something that we all love and enjoy, and I don't want to see it sort of step back because of a mistake, right? Because there's a lot of comments out there. Even I've been receiving emails, people saying a lot of things like they're gonna take all their products, they're gonna post them back to AK, they're never gonna buy anything from AK, and a lot of nasty stuff. Now, admittedly, you know, they do deserve the backlash, right? What they did was wrong, and in a way, you know, all this backlash has, you know, it's kind of like a power to the people kind of thing. They've got AK sort of acknowledging, admitting that they were wrong and apologizing for it, right? Which is a good thing, right? I mean, it's good that the modeling community can make a company actually, you know, stop what they're doing. They removed the whole campaign they did and apologized and everything, so it's a good thing. But how far do we take this, right? Because as I say, I've been getting emails, you know, people going, you know, you should never do anything AK again, take all the videos down from AK, you know, and I just think that's maybe going a little bit too far, you know, they've deserved a load of backlash, you know, they've done wrong, but do we want to see AK be run out of town, run out of business? I don't really want to see that, you know. I mean, I know some of you might sort of disagree, and I know some people might not like what I've just said. You know, I'm not defending AK, you know, they've done wrong. I just don't think we should go as far as doing that. It's a bit sort of overboard, a bit over the top, right? Because let's face it, you know, this is a hobby we all love and enjoy, and the hobby has progressed so much over the years, you know, and AK has been one of those leading companies that have, you know, their products, they're good. I mean, their video in that book might not be the best, but the products they do work, they are good. They have, you know, pushed the whole weathering side of the hobby to, you know, a very, you know, a good point. You know, we can build our models, and with all the weathering products, yes, we can sort of nicely put that cherry on the top and make them look really, really good and turn them into works of art, which, you know, as I say, I don't want to see the hobby stepping back and seeing AK go down or something like that. You know, I think that's just going a little bit too far. Now, with that aside, right, I don't really want to sort of harp on too much about AK. You know, what they've did is wrong. I just think we should maybe sort of step back, take the moral high ground, and let's not go too far with this. And as I say, people emailing me wanting me to sort of, stop all AK stuff is going a little bit too far, right? As much as you may not agree with that or not. But the other thing is as well is when it comes to sensitive subjects, I don't want to see the hobby again step back, because again, all these comments, and I know people are angry right now and they're letting off steam, but they're saying things like doing sensitive subjects is like a taboo now. It's going to be stigmatized, you can't do that sort of thing, and it's wrong, and all these kind of things. Now, AK, yes, they made a mistake. They approached doing scale modeling and approaching sensitive subjects in, let's face it, they approached it in a non-sensitive way, right? Which is what they did wrong. But does that mean that we can no longer do that because AK's put this cloud over it and it's been, it's a taboo now? I don't want the modeling community to step back in that sense, right? Because let's face it, the hobby has moved on so much, and really, I mean, this might sound like I'm going overboard a little bit, but no, I think it's true. The hobby has moved forward so much that really, I know people might think we're playing with toys, right? But the level of work that some of you people produce is absolutely outstanding, right? And it has moved to a point with all the new techniques and the new ways we do things and the new products. We are producing works of art, right? Which means you guys out there are becoming artists and have become artists because these are fantastic pieces of work. And by doing these fantastic pieces of art, it does mean that we have the capability now to actually produce dioramas of sensitive subjects, and the whole point of it, right, the whole point of using art to illustrate these sensitive subjects is that that piece of art creates awareness, it creates debate and talk, and people get involved in it. And us being humans, we see things like that, and yes, it can be quite shock and awe of a sort of a diorama that you do, but again, it creates awareness, it creates that debate, and it gets people thinking. And the outcome really is people thinking and talking about it, and thus end up doing something about it, even if it's on a small scale, even if it's just people go, oh, do you know what, I'm going to donate to that charity now. And if you produce a piece of work and you get some people going, just simply, oh, I'm going to donate to that charity now, it can only be a good thing, as well as it moves the hobby forward in things that we can do and help the world, and it just makes things better. So the whole point of this video is, yes, AK did wrong, but I don't think we should step the modeling hobby backwards by putting a stigma on producing sensitive work. I don't think we should go so far with punishing AK to the extreme of trying to run them out of business. I think that's just going way too far. Two wrongs don't make a right. We should take the moral high ground here and not go too far with this, and just move forward, because at the end of the day, this hobby is a place in which we come to de-stress, get in that modeling zone, forget about the world, and build models, and kind of just relax. We don't want to take this and turn it into a stressful thing, right? We don't want to see the hobby move back and see AK or any business go out of business. Really, we want to see it keep growing and moving forward. We want to be able to express ourselves and do pieces of art of sensitive work and try and help those sensitive subjects, right? I mean, in all fairness, AK, yes, they did wrong. they did, you know, I mean, it's their first time they've done something wrong, and admittedly, if they had done this loads and loads of times before and they carried on doing it, you know what, I'd be the first one on a video, you know, leading the charge. You know, we don't want AK around, nobody buy from AK, you know. But you know what, I know what they did was bad, but it is their first time they've done something bad, and hopefully, you know, AK can move forward from this, learn from their mistakes, and not do those kind of things again where they approach a sensitive subject in a non-sensitive way. You know, so, you know, fingers crossed they will move forward and grow and become better from their mistake. Hopefully you won't all sort of, you know, have this stigma against doing sensitive subjects, or stigmatize people for doing sensitive subjects, right? You know, we want to just move forward and sort of grow and learn from this. So I do appreciate that some of you, you know, potentially don't agree with me. I must admit, thinking about doing this video has been sort of, I got a feeling people are gonna maybe not like what I say, but I'm just trying to sort of take the moral high ground here, trying to move things forward and sort of, you know, not have the modeling hobby move backwards. So if you want to put your comments, you know, what do you think? I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know me, I'm always up for your comments, your feedback, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, but you know, if you want to sort of comment, you know, I don't think we should be stigmatizing sensitive subjects, but let me know if we should or not. You know, just comment down below. AK, I mean, really, should we go that far with AK? I don't think we should, but let me know. But as always, you know, sorry if it's been a bit of a kind of video, but as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models, and I'll catch you later.